Hi, good morning to all of you. I am your Vidik sir. Today we are going to discuss about one of the most important topic, and do you know critical angle of diamond? Critical angle of diamond is 24.2 degrees. So it is very less. Critical angle of diamond is 24.2. It is very less. Because of this one, the diamond shines brightly. How it is brightly? Because this critical angle is less. What about the refractive index of diamond? 2.42. But what about critical angle of diamond? 24.2 degrees. So it is very less. Because of this less refractive critical angle, the light ray entered here and it can multiple reflection takes place. That's why the diamond shines brightly. Okay, diamond and its nature completed. But what about next concept? Here we want to find lab activity 2. Lab activity 2, in that activity we are going to discuss about mainly 3 subtopic. What is the first one? What happened when light ray travel normal to the glass slab? What happened when light ray travel to the normal to the glass slab? First of all, what about glass slab? This is a rectangular shaped glass slab. Here, what about our first one? What happened when light rays are fall normally to that glass slab? And second one, how do you find lateral shift? How do you find lateral shift? And what about next one? How do you find vertical shift? What happened when light ray travel normal to the glass slab? Next, how do you find lateral shift? And how do you find vertical shift? So let us explain one by one. So what is our first one? What happened when light ray traveled normal to the glass slab? For that, first of all, this is lab activity. For that lab activity, we required some important subtopics. First one is aim. What about the aim? Our aim is what happened when light rays travel normal to the glass slab. Normal to the glass slab. And what about the materials? Materials required. Here materials required cardboard, white chalk, rectangular glass slab, scale, pencil, pins. So what are the materials required here? Cardboard, white chart, glass slab, scale, pencil, pins, and also protractor. So these are all the materials are required to conduct our lab activity 2. So what happened when light rays are travel normal to the glass slab? For the demonstration we required materials: cardboard, white chart, glass slab, scale, pencil, pins, protractor. Then what about the procedure? Here the procedure is nothing but the process. Here first of all we want to take in one cardboard. This is the cardboard. We want to fix white chart, and also this white chart is fixed with clamps. So in that materials required, once again we want to take in clamps also. Clamps. Then at the center of this white chart, place glass slab, and we can draw outer edges of glass slab. A, B, C, D. You can draw the outer edges of glass slab with the help of the pencil, and remove the glass slab and name the vertices of that glass slab in A, B, C, D. Now we want to take in here AB line. Here we want to draw one perpendicular line with the help of the scale. With the help of the scale, we want to draw one perpendicular line to that AB. Perpendicular line or normal line to the AB. Now once again we want to place glass slab here. Then take two pins and they are fixed at vertical line before this glass slab. Here fix two pins. Fix two pins here. And take two more pins. This is the first pin, this is second pin. Take two more pins and seeing of these two, where we can see this image of these two pins. These two pins image you can see back side of this glass slab. Already here we placed glass slab. Here we also inserted two pins here. These two pins are we are able to see this image is formed back side of this glass slab. There we want to fix two more pins of these first two images. Then once again remove this glass slab and also remove these four pins. With the help of that dots we can join once again. How it is? It is straight. It is normal or it is straight, and it is also perpendicular to that AB. Here the light ray which travelled normal to the glass slab, it is undeviated. Because it does not bend. It can travel straight. So from this one what you have to understood? From this one you can clearly understood that when light ray which is travel normal to the glass slab, it is undeviated. Because we already get here what you got here. That line is perpendicular to the AB. It is without deviation. There is no deviation. so it can travel straightly. So if any light ray which falls perpendicular to that glass slab, it is undeviated. That is most important concept. So once again, what we did here, first of all we want to take a cardboard. We also fixed a white chart with the help of the clamps. With the help of the clamps. Then at the center of the white chart, place this glass slab. Place, suppose it is considered as glass slab, and we can draw outer edges of this glass slab with the help of the pencil. Then name the vertices A, B, C, D, and also remove that glass slab. Okay, now we want to take an AB line, and here we want to draw one straight line with the help of the scale and pencil, and at this position take two pins, and these two pins are inserted here on this line, Then once again we want to place glass slab here. Then we can observe these images we are able to see these images are formed back side of this glass slab, and here we can fix two more pins. Then remove the glass slab and also these four pins with the help of the dots and scale. If you draw the line, that line is must and should be straight. So from this one we can easily understood that when light ray traveled from one medium to another medium, or especially in that glass, it is undeviated. That light ray is not deviated. Undeviated means not deviated. That is our first concept. And what about next one? How do you find lateral shift? How do you find lateral shift with the help of the glass slab? Once again, the same materials we require here: white chart, cardboard, clamps, and next one glass slab, pins, scale, and protractor. Similarly, once again we want to take in the glass slab, and we want to place at the center of the page or paper or white chart, and here we want to draw outer edges with the help of scale and pencil. Remove that glass slab, and we want to place the vertices A, B, C, D. Now we want to draw once again. Here we want to draw one vertical line to that AB. Vertical line with the help of the scale or protractor. Vertical line means normal line. Then taking protractor here and protractor and scale, make your 30 degrees angle. We want to draw one incident ray. Making 30 degrees angle here, we want to take in 30 degrees angle. We want to draw one incident ray. Then you also take in two pins. These two pins are placed at PQ. At P, we want to insert one pin, At Q, we want to insert one more pin. Then, listen carefully. At P and Q, we already inserted how many pins? How many pins we are taking here? 2 pins. These 2 pins are taken at P and Q. Then place the glass slab here. Place the glass slab here. And we can observe through this glass slab, we can observe that image of P and Q we can see at the top side, where we can see at that place fixed 2 more pins. Fixed 2 more pins. Here this is the first pin and this is the second pin. Here also fixed 2 more pins. Then with the help of the scale we can draw that two pins R and S. If you remove these 2 pins, there are two dots. With the help of the 2 dots, we can draw one line. This line touches the CD line. And also here we can draw one normal line to that CD. We can draw one normal line to that CD. And do you know, find this angle. This is angle of emergence. And what about your angle of incidence? Angle of emergence, and this is angle of emergence and this is the angle of incidence. Angle of incidence. Okay? Up to here all of you understood here. First of all, what we did here, first of all place this glass slab and draw the outer edges, and after that we can remove the glass slab, name the vertices A, B, C, D. Then we want to draw one perpendicular line or normal line to that AB, but here there is no glass slab. Then place glass slab in its original position. Then with the help of protractor from normal to this one 30 degrees angle, we want to draw one incident ray. On that incident ray we want to fix 2 pins at P and Q. At P and Q, how many pins we inserted? 2 pins inserted. Then what happened? Then we can observe these 2 pins through that glass slab. Where we are able to see? We are able to see these 2 at different positions at R and S. So at the places we want to fix that 2 pins. Then remove the 2 pins and once again we can draw the line. That line is touches that CD side, and where it can meet, from that one we can draw one normal line. That normal line is perpendicular to that CD. That normal line is perpendicular to that CD. So measure this angle. This is angle I. Measure this angle. This is angle E. Angle I means incident angle. Angle E means emergent angle. Do you know here? This angle and this angle must and should be equal. Angle I is equal to angle E because both are parallel. This is a rectangular glass slab. Both are parallel. That's why angle I equal to angle E. Okay. Now what we want to do? Now we want to extend this incident ray. We want to extend this incident ray, means without deviation. Suppose it can travel straight. The distance between these two is called lateral shift. The distance between these two parallel lines is called lateral shift. So what about the definition of lateral shift here? Whatever the definition, the distance between two parallel lines. Do you know? These two are parallel lines. These two are not combined. So the distance between these two parallel lines is called lateral shift. Lateral shift. Now, after this one, we want to increase different angles. Here we already taken 30. Next 40. Next 50. Next 60. So we want to continue all these angles, and also we can measure angle of emergence. So if you place these are all in table, serial number, here angle of incidence, here angle of emergence, shift. But actually in our textbook only angle of incidence and shift. But we want to take in some more. Serial number, for example, one angle of I equal to 30. And what about angle of E? Emergent, 30. For example, what do you know about shift? Shift means the distance between these two parallel lines. For example, this length is nearly 8 centimeter. This length is nearly 8 centimeter. Okay? Then further we want to increase. Suppose next we want to take in 40 degrees. Angle I equal to 40. What about angle emergence? It is also 40. Then what about the shift? The shift is same. 8 centimeter. If you are further increasing, every time angle I is equal to angle E, and also what about the distance? The distance is should be same. So my dear students, here how do you find a lateral shift? Here if you draw a line, this one, this is called refracted ray. This angle is R. Here both angles also same. Angle R is equal to angle R. Here also both angles also same. Angle R equal to angle R. Suppose this is 20. What about this one? This is also 20. Angle R is equal to angle R. So this is a refracted ray, and this is the table. And finally, how do you find a lateral shift? With the help of the glass slab. So first of all, we already find a normal to the glass slab. So half of the question is there. The remaining is nothing but we want to draw one perpendicular line to that AB, and make with the help of the protractor draw one incident light ray, that is 30 degrees angle, and fix two pins here, P and Q. Then after place the glass slab, and we are observing these two images formed at R and S. At that R and S we want to fix two more pins and remove that pins, and we can draw one line. That line is should be touches this CD line, and here also we can draw one perpendicular line. It is touches here, and this angle is nothing but emergent angle. And what about this angle? This angle is an incident angle. Here in that two parallel lines are here same, and also it is rectangular glass slab. Angle I should be equal to angle E. And if you draw the line here, this is a refracted ray, and here these angles also called as refracted angle. These two angles also same. So we want to further increasing that angles 30, 40, 50, 60 like that, and every time we will get angle of incidence and angle of emergence and shift. What about here lateral shift? Lateral shift is the distance between two parallel lines. The distance between two parallel lines is called as lateral shift. And after this one, what about third one? What about our third concept? Our third concept is vertical shift. one is vertical shift. How is it possible to find vertical shift? Once again, we want to take cardboard, and also we can find the same white shot. We can fix it here. Yes, this is the A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. So this is the glass slab which we placed here on that white chart. Now we want to draw one perpendicular line or one normal line to that AB. We want to draw one normal line to that AB or CD. We want to draw one normal line here. Then take two pins or two nails. One of the nail, it can must and should placed from here to 15 centimeter. From glass slab to 15 centimeter away, at that place we want to fix this nail, iron nail at P. Iron nail at P. Then what about next? Next, take one more nail and we must and should see that first nail through the glass slab, and we are trying to place that second nail, trying to place parallelly to that second nail, and that place, that where we placed second nail, that is nothing but mark them as Q. Here what we have to understood, while we are seeing this through the glass slab, we can place this nail parallel to that P, but if you are seeing through this one, it is touches this line, but actually if you are seeing outside, this nail is not touches the normal line. Now we want to touch this line, and this point is noted down as Q. This is P and this is Q. Measure the distance between these two lines. Measure the distance between these two lines. The distance between these two lines, the distance between two parallel lines, already we discussed, that is lateral shift. The distance between two vertical lines is called as vertical shift. The distance between two vertical lines is called vertical shift. So once again we can take in here. How much distance here? First we get taken 15 centimeter. Next one we want to take in, for example, here the distance, serial number, here the distance, here vertical shift. Now what we want to do? Serial number 1, the distance here 15 centimeter from our glass slab, and we have to measure the vertical shift is 5 centimeter. Next we want to take in nearly 20 centimeter from this glass slab. Before, how much distance we already taken? 15 centimeter. Next time we are taken 20 centimeter and we can place at 20 centimeter P nail, and we want to take another nail, and seeing up through this glass slab, we want to place that second nail parallel to the first nail. Through this one it is appear, but actually they are not in touches this line. Then we can join this one and note the point as Q. Once again we want to measure the distance between these two. It is also, what about that one? That distance also same, 5 centimeter. So here in this vertical shift condition, it is not depends upon the distance how much we taken. It is not depend upon the distance, how much distance we taken. But what about the last column? Last column is same. Now we want to increase 35 or 25 centimeter. Same. What about the shift? What about the vertical shift? 5 centimeters only. So this is also very important one. With the help of first concept, we can easily find lateral shift, and after that we already find vertical shift, and all are belongs to that same glass slab. Next we want to discuss about one more most important question. That is nothing but, how do you find refractive index of glass slab? How do you find refractive index of glass slab? How do you find refractive index of given glass slab or glass slab? First of all, we want to take in the given glass slab. For example, this is the given glass slab. Now we want to measure the thickness of the glass slab. Thickness of the glass slab. How is it possible to find thickness? How is it possible to find thickness of glass slab? We have to find thickness of glass slab with the help of screw gauge. Screw gauge. Do you know about the screw gauge? Screw gauge, it is consisting of like a U-shaped, and also it consisting of one bar. Here S1, S2 are shafts. Here also consisting of one scale. If you rotate this one, automatically that shaft S1 and S2 both are contact here. So this is called screw gauge. What is the other name of screw gauge? Screw gauge is also called as micrometer. Screw gauge is also called as micrometer. So with the help of this screw gauge, we have to find thickness of glass slab. Thickness of glass slab. Suppose it is 5 centimeter. So thickness of glass slab is thickness of glass slab is 5 centimeter. Now Now we have to find vertical shift. How is it possible to find vertical shift? Once again, we want to take in one cardboard and we want to fix one white chart, and here we want to draw the outer edges of that mark them A, B, C, D. Hey, how is it possible to find vertical shift? So we want to find vertical shift same, which we already discussed here. First of all, we want to draw one normal line to that AB or CD and take 15 centimeter apart. Place one iron nail. So we want to place one iron nail here. Mark them. It is the point is P. And next, take one more iron nail and seeing of this glass slab, you want to try to place parallelly. And here it is placed parallelly, but it is not touches this normal line. Then we want to join this one and mark as it is Q. Now we want to find the distance between these two. That is called vertical shift. Vertical shift. Okay now. For example, it is 2.5 centimeter. 2.5 centimeter. Okay na? 2.5 centimeter. Then we already discussed, if you change 20 centimeter, 30 centimeter, etc. Then what about this vertical shift? What about this vertical shift? This vertical shift is same. So how much value you get here? For consider 2.5 centimeter. If you increase 20 centimeter, 30 centimeter, 40 centimeter from glass slab, and we can conduct the same experiment. And what about that? What about that vertical shift? That vertical shift is 2.5 centimeter. So here we already find first thickness of glass slab. How is it possible to find thickness of glass slab? Thickness of glass slab we can find with the help of screw gauge. What is the other name of screw gauge? Micrometer. So it consisting of U-shaped arrangement, and also it consisting of S1, S2, two shafts, and also it provide one scale. If you rotate that barrel, automatically it can rotate. Then it is used to find thickness of glass slab or diameter of thin wire. Diameter of thin wire. So here we want to find thickness of glass slab. So thickness of glass slab we want to note down. It is considered 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters. Then we have to find vertical shift. How is it possible to find vertical shift? We have to find vertical shift. Take one cardboard and also fix one white chart. At the center of that white chart, we want to place glass slab, and with the help of the pencil, we want to draw outer edges. Remove the glass slab and name the vertices A, B, C, D. And also we can draw one normal line to that AB and CD. From this glass slab, we want to place glass slab at its position. From this glass slab, 50 centimeter apart, take one iron nail and it is fixed parallel to that. Actually, this is perpendicular to this normal line, mark as P, and we want to take in one more nail. That nail is we want to try to place parallel to the first nail through seeing of this glass slab. Then we can place, and but we can observe it is not touches this normal line. So then what do? We want to touch this normal line. Then we want to find the distance between these two. The distance between these two vertical lines is called vertical shift. Consider that vertical shift is 2.5 centimeter. So once again now we want to change the length from that glass slab. We want to increase 20 centimeter, 30 centimeter, but every time we want to find that the distance between these two vertical line is nothing but 2.5 centimeter. So it is we want to consider that value. Then how is it possible to find refractive index of glass slab? Refractive index of glass slab. So refractive index of glass slab. What is the formula? The formula is thickness of glass slab by thickness of glass slab minus vertical shift. Thickness of glass slab by thickness of glass slab minus vertical shift. So what about our values here? What about the thickness of glass slab? 5 centimeter. And what about the thickness? Once again 5 centimeter. What about the vertical shift? 2.5. So how is it possible to write? 5 minus 2.5. 2.5 ones, 2.5 twos. So what about our answer? 2. So it is just we are assume some values. So with the help of that, we can find refractive index of glass slab. We already told what are the units for refractive index. There are no units because it is a dimensionless quantity. Their units are cancelled each other. That's why refractive index have no units. So here also refractive index of glass slab, there are no units. But what about this value? We already got 2. So this is also very important concept. How do you find the refractive index of glass slab? So in this session, listen carefully. We already discussed about what happened when light ray traveled perpendicular to the glass slab. And what about its nature? Second one, how do you find lateral shift by using of glass slab? And what about third one? How do you find vertical shift? And finally, how do you find refractive index of glass slab? These are all our relative terms. With the help of one concept, we can conduct one by one. And here, what happened? We want to ask one question here. What happened if light ray passes through that glass slab? How many times it can refract? For example, this is the glass slab. How many times it can refract? This is the first time, this is second time. So, if light ray passes through the glass slab, how many times it can refract? 2 times it can refract. It is also one important one. When light ray passes through that glass slab, how many times it can refract? 2 times it can refract. So, how do you find refractive index of the glass slab? Refractive index glass slab. What about the formula for refractive index of glass slab? Refractive index of glass slab is equal to thickness of glass slab by thickness of glass slab minus vertical shift. So, this is also very important one. And we already told what about the critical angle of diamond? Critical angle of diamond is 24.2 degrees. What about this is the critical angle? What about the refractive index of diamond? That is 2.42. Then what about how many times glass slab is refracted when light ray is traveled? 2 times. Then what is the formula for refractive index of glass slab? Thickness of glass slab by thickness of glass slab minus vertical shift. What is the definition of lateral shift? The distance between two parallel lines. The distance between two parallel lines is called lateral shift. What is the definition of or defined vertical shift? The distance between two vertical lines is called vertical shift. Next, what happens when light ray is traveled through glass slab? Normally, it is undeviated. It is undeviated. So, okay, my dear students, this is very important concept. I think all of you understood here. So, okay, bye.